Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the Master Grade Gelgoog Cannon MSV Color version. So again, if you guys didn't see the unboxing, basically what this is taking it's a P-Bandai kit, and it's taking the 2.0, the Master Grade 2.0 Gelgoog kit, and then giving you the extra cannon parts from the old Master Grade Gelgoog Cannon, which was using the 1.0 Gelgoog, which is really old. I think if I remember right, the runner was what, from 1997? Very old. So basically that's just the parts there on the sides of the arms and then the cannon backpack for that. And so really the only thing that we have new for this kit is the new parts for the head. So yeah, this being a P-Bandai kit that, as far as I know, hasn't been reissued, it's not really the easiest P-Bandai kit to find. It's gonna be pretty expensive, and I don't know, if you really want to search one out and get it, I think it is really nice, but I think an alternative, definitely a viable alternative, would be just to buy the regular 2.0 Gelgoog kit and the old Master Grade Gelgoog Cannon kit, and then just kind of just kit bash them, because you can use all, I mean, everything's will fit on there, right? The only problem would be the head, and the head will be the old Gelgoog Cannon head, which really doesn't look that bad. I mean, you could always modify it as well to make it look a little bit better, but that's basically the deal with that. Though the kit is really, really nice. I mean, this is my first time building a 2.0 Gelgoog kit, or any Master Grade Gelgoog kit, and it's really, really nice. Pretty simple and quick to build, actually. Felt like kind of more simple than even a 2.0 Zaku kit. So although it's got a lot of really great detail and the inner frame is really super nice, it's really not all that complicated. There's quite a lot of like larger parts. So it actually goes together pretty quickly, and it should be pretty fun and simple to paint. So I really, really like the kit. This is my first impression of it there, but I'll give you guys a look through everything. We do have, basically as you're seeing it now, that's all the weapons that it's kind of technically supposed to have, but it does have all this stuff left over from just the regular Gelgoog kit as well, because like I said, this is basically the full like standard MS-14A Gelgoog, which would be not the Char custom version, just the standard version. So anyway, let's get a look at some of the articulation here, shall we? So this is a pretty big and like heavy, cumbersome kit, but I'm not sure if it's going to have issues of like the joints being able to hold up. The arms I think will be fine, but the legs being quite heavy, I'm not sure if they'll be able to stay up on their own, but we'll just have to see when it comes time to posing. I have also been warned about the stability of the hip joint. I have heard that it can be easily broken, so I do want to be careful with that. Anyway, let's get to the head here. The head can go up, and then like with the Zaku 2.0, it's going to be kind of hard to see, almost impossible basically, as it is now. But the mono eye does turn as you turn the head, so if you turn the head to the side, the mono eye does turn off to the side there. Again, going to be hard to see as it is, but once you have like some paint on that, or an LED, however you want to do that. There is no like built-in system to put an LED in here. You'd have to wire that up yourself, but it is pretty nice. Here on the top of the head though, there is a seam line on these parts for the top. Those being brand new parts for this kit, would have been nice if they would have engineered those as not having a seam there, but it's not really too bad. The head can go up to there and down to there. Not a whole lot of articulation there in the neck, but the head does look really nice. So it works pretty well enough, I think. Here on the shoulders, you have these really interesting little like plates there that go between the arms and the body. The shoulder armor itself will move up and down a bit. You have some nice vent detail there on the side as well. And then the whole shoulder joint will move up a little bit. You can bring the arm up to, looks like really only about 90 degrees or so, but that should be okay. And then the rest of the arm articulation is pretty standard. Rotation there at the top. Double joint at the elbow. The wrist is just on a ball joint, and we actually have like this little bit of the wrist inside the forearm there that will also move a bit there as well. And then we have our individually articulated fingers here for this, kind of similar to the Master Grade Dom or other Master Grade kits. Now, if you remember from the unboxing, we had this one screw, and I wasn't exactly sure where this was supposed to go. And as I was building the kit, I was almost done, and I realized I hadn't used the screw, so I was wondering where it went. Finally, I realized that the screw is actually supposed to go there in the hand, and the only reason that I can think of really why you need that is because the shield actually connects onto the hand there, and so I think that's just to make sure that the hand stays together when you have the shield connected onto there, because I think the weight of that clipped onto like the back of the hand might pull the hand apart if you don't have that shield there. That's my best guess of why you need that screw. But considering this kit doesn't use that shield, I just didn't put the screw in there for now. Although it's a little bit difficult to do, we can get that cockpit hatch open there in the center, and we have our seated pilot figure. inside. Pretty nicely detailed, but it's just kind of a generic pilot in this case. Just close that back up. In the torso, we have a nice stomach crunch there and back to there, side to side a little bit there. So really nice articulation there in the stomach. Love this, all this vent detail around in there, really nice. Here in the waist, it's really nice how these kind of armor panels all just kind of line up to make it look like just nice and flat, but we do actually have separate panels. So like there's the front that will move up and down. The side will move a little bit, basically just kind of wiggle a little bit there, not really too much. You can kind of wiggle it out of the way if you need. The back doesn't move at all. Well, maybe a little bit there. Okay, yeah, it does move a little bit, I suppose, and you kind of have to pop it back into place. If you pull it out a bit there, I guess you can move it like that. You can also fold down this little flap here. That's for holding the beam naginata. If you want to use that, kind of to pull that out like that. So pulling out that back skirt actually works pretty cool. You can see underneath there, we have all those little thruster bells. Those are all on ball joints, so you can move those around as you like inside there. And as best as I can, I'd like to show you guys this detail up underneath the skirts there. All that really nice detail, looking really nice. We'll just take a look under the feet as well while we're here. Love the detail under there, under the feet, and we have some thruster bells up inside the back of the leg there as well. All that nice detail underneath looks fantastic. The legs themselves will be able to go out to only about there. Forward, really only about to there, so not that much, but just based on the design, there's really nowhere else for that leg to go, unfortunately. But we can rotate the leg at the top and then get a nice bend here at the knee, which will separate that knee armor a little bit out there. And again, the knee bend really only about 90 degrees, not that much, but with this kind of really large skirt armor here and large leg armor, there's just not a whole lot of room for that leg to go anywhere. Down here at the ankles, pretty nice. Those will go side to side, forward only to about there, back to there. So that's down, and from the kind of a flat standing position to pointed down, there's really not that much difference, but you can bend the toe as well, and you get a really nice far toe bend there and some nice detail actually that's exposed when you do that. So they didn't miss any of the areas where you might want to have detail on this kit. Alright, so apologies if that was a little bit sloppy going through that. It's a big heavy kit to hold and manipulate around there for you guys. But just a reminder, you do also get this set of waterslide decals. This is just for this version of the kit, this MSV color version. This doesn't come with the standard kit, but some really nice MSV decals here. Definitely will be using those. And also, naturally, this being based on a different kit, you do have some different options, like option parts, leftover parts. So you have like all these leftover parts from the head if you want to make just the standard Gelgoog head, and you can make just like the standard one, or with the commander antenna, or with the different commander antenna. So you have some options there if you want. If you don't like this stuff here on the side of the arms, you do have just the regular parts for the sides of the arms for that. Those do look really nice. It's kind of a shame not to use them, but maybe you could get creative, find a way to use these on a different kit. And then of the leftover parts from the Gelgoog Cannon parts, you do have the original, like the old beam naginata from the original kit, as well as the little clip part that is supposed to attach that to the kit. So this also is something that you might as well keep, and then you can use this to give to a different kit. It's really not that bad of an accessory. You don't have any beam, I guess. Yeah, it seems like the beam effect parts for this kit sort of barely fit in there. You'll have to probably trim those down a little bit or drill this hole out a little bit more. They don't quite fit, but you could definitely use this, so keep this around for later. You have just a 1/100 standing pilot figure here, just kind of generic pilot figure. It doesn't have a base or anything to stand up, so you'll just have that if you want to use that for whatever. You of course have your action base connector. It's a very interestingly shaped one, but that'll connect up underneath the skirt there. We have our beam naginata with two different options for the blades. You have just this normal one, and then you have the sword option, which is just straight beams, which look like that. So this thing is pretty long. If you attach to both the sword ends there, end to end, it's much taller than the actual Gelgoog itself. But again, as far as I know, this version of the Gelgoog doesn't actually use that, so it's just kind of an extra part. You can choose to use it or not if you want. Speaking of which, we do also have the rifle as well. So this is the beam rifle with the grenade launcher that the standard Master Grade Gelgoog 2.0 kit comes with. It also has the parts for the bipod. If you fold the little legs of that down, you can have it like that. Pretty nice. That's easy enough to just pop off. You can also take off the grenade launcher as well. Just slide that off and slide on this different part, and then you have just the regular beam rifle if you want to use that instead. Personally, I like it with the extra stuff on there. It definitely beefs up the rifle, makes it look a little bit more intimidating. This again, although it's not technically used by this, I think what I'll probably end up doing is just modifying this a little bit and then actually giving it to this kit to use, but as it is, probably not. And then we have the classic Gelgoog shield. Love the shield quite a bit, but again, not really going to use it for this kit particularly. We have all the parts for that. You have a connection part in there you can take off if you want to use that, but that's for connecting the naginata onto the inside of the shield if you don't want to have it on the back skirt. We also have this like little connection arm here, which will allow you to use this piece here as well, this other connection piece. And then you can actually plug that onto the back, but in this case we have that backpack on the back, so again we can't use that with this, but I'll definitely be using this probably for some other custom build. Again, as I said in the unboxing, I really like the look of this shield used with just like a regular Gundam, so if you want to make like a Xeon version of a Gundam, it is a really nice extra bit of stuff to have. One thing I will say that trying to get this kit to hold that rifle, man, I was really having trouble. There's a peg built into the hand that's supposed to fit into the handle of the rifle, and it fits there, but it really didn't want to stay there. I don't know if it's just not tight enough or the peg just is, it's kind of short, but it seems like it should be okay, but it just really wasn't. So really took me quite a few minutes there just to get it to keep that rifle in its hand. So again, not really going to be too big of an issue for this kit because it's not really even kind of meant to technically have it. Like I said, I'll probably end up using it later after doing some work on it, but I'll have to work on that little peg connection there. Also did forget to mention that you do have a clear piece there for the camera of that rifle. I didn't show you guys that, but I think it's pretty much assumed, I suppose, if anyone noticed that was missing from the rifle. One thing that I just love about this kit, and it's just kind of the Gelgoog in general, and especially the 2.0 Master Grade Gelgoog kit, is just how intimidating it looks. They did a really good job of making that head, especially, and just all the proportions and everything just look really mean and intimidating. It looks like a really big, powerful, bad mobile suit, so it really does look good. Also, I forgot to mention about the articulation of the backpack here. The cannon does move up and down like so, and then these kind of thrusters here on the bottom, these parts will move up and down like that. Alright, so negatives of the kit. Obviously, the biggest negative of this kit is going to be the availability and the price. Not the easiest kit to find, and when you can find it, you're probably going to have to pay a little bit for it. On the plus side, though, it is really cool. But other negatives would just be that really the base kit is really good. There's really not much negative to say about it, except just because of the size and bulk and shape of a lot of parts. Some of the articulation is kind of hindered. You can't really do as much with the legs as maybe you would like, but pretty much everything above the waist is pretty good. Just the only negative thing is that the cannon parts are used from the really old Master Grade, which is not a bad... It's not a big deal if the details are nice, and the details are actually pretty good on that. It's actually pretty nice, those parts that you have for that. But the only thing with the parts that old is that they're just going to take a lot more sanding and a lot more seam line removal. They've got some seams on there for sure, and it's just going to take a lot more sanding to just get all those edges just nice, because the just molding process has improved since then, and so it's just going to take a little bit of work to get those to look as nice and like perfect as the rest of the kit for it to all be ready for paint, but really not that big of a deal. It's just a little bit of extra work you're going to have to do on those particular parts. Alright, so I mean that's pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot else to say about this kit. It's just kind of one of those things. This has been a kit that I've wanted for quite a long time, and this is kind of the reason why if there's a P-Bandai kit coming out that you like or that you think you might like, if you can, just get it, because you don't know if they're ever going to make it again. And like I said, as far as I know, this one hasn't been reprinted, and who knows if it ever will. So yeah, I really regretted not getting this when it first came out, and then I ended up having to pay more to get it, so that's just how it goes. But did finally get it, and will probably later, sometime within the next few months, and by few months I mean probably like 6 months or something, we'll probably get around to just painting this up. And then, like I said, this is going to be just a gift for a friend, and it should turn out pretty cool. I love the look of this kit. It's really awesome, so I'm really happy to have it despite it costing a little bit more. It's all good. It's going to look really nice when it's all painted. So if you guys still do have any other questions or comments about this, as always, just leave all that down below, and just thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.